Good morning, folks. It's Tuesday morning, day after Memorial Day. I'm gonna address a little something. One of you made a comment about being sorry that somebody hurt me sometime in the past. Well, I've been hurt a lot in the past by a lot of different people. But there's no need to be sorry for it. I appreciate the sentiment, but there's no need. Because quite simply, everything that has been done has been God's way of molding me into who I am today. If those things had not happened, I would not be who I am today. So I thank God for those who hurt me, because as his word says, even the wicked shall do his will. And that means being the tools of somebody else in order to affect God's plan for what God has planned and for God's will to be fulfilled. So I don't regret it. Yeah, it's been rough. But when you're in God's boot camp, which is kind of what this is, it's going to be rough. Like I said in a previous video once, not only is life not fair, life was never meant to be fair. Because it's a training ground for those on both sides. Whom shall we serve? That's the choice we have before us. Whom we shall serve. We're going to serve God, or by default, are we going to serve Satan, prince of this world? I made my choice. I've been his all along. If I told y'all about how I came to be, y'all'd really be reeling in your mind. But I'm not going to get into that. There's a couple of people here and there that know about that and everything. But, everything that's happened to me has made me who I am today. If those things had not happened to me, I wouldn't be who I am now. I wouldn't be the encourager that I am. I wouldn't be having the ponderings that I ponder, that some of y'all seem to like. I wouldn't have learned the things that I've learned. Is it tough? Sure. But that's what God does. The harder the job, the more difficult the purpose that you're to fulfill. The more difficult things you're going to face in life. See how you're going to handle them. See how you progress. So that you can become, so that God can mold you and refine you into the tool that he has for you to be, to fulfill the purpose he has for you within his will. So yeah, it's been tough. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing. I mean, yeah, sometimes I think, boy, it sure would have been nice if. But then I wouldn't be who I am today. And I wouldn't be fulfilling God's purpose and will. So I'm thankful for that, because in the end, God is the one responsible for those things happening because he done created all this from beginning to end from the beginning. He already knew everything that was going to happen. He already knew which way we would turn with each new thing. Therefore, knowing what it would take to turn us another way with something else. You know. So that way, you know, that's how he knows everything. He wrote it. All this is already history to him, even to the very end. The end of all this is already history to God because he done wrote it, done wrote the book, and put it in print. You know, that's a hard concept for a lot of people to grasp. That involves a thing called temporal mechanics. Our time is not his time. And to him, it's already history. So he already knows everything. He already knows what's going to go down. He's the one that set this thing up. And the quicker we realize this kind of simple but not so simple statement, what is has to be because it's already been done. You might have a hard time wrapping your head around that. You see, to God, all this is already done. So what we experience has already been done. What's going on has already been done. So if we just trust in God and go along with how God's got things going and thank God for it, find things go a lot more smoothly because then you're ready for things to be the way they're supposed to be. You know, we might be getting ready for a change. God's getting ready to do something. She was asked something this morning that it's kind of funny. You know, and I'm not going to go into what it was, but be something impossible for us to be able to do. I'll just say that. So I know that God's got something getting ready to break loose. And you know what? I kind of hope it does. Because that's going to mean some changes for us. It's going to be hard, yeah. But that's just one of them things. God already knew it was coming. So God's already got an answer. I don't know what it is yet. But I don't have to. My trust is in him. And I leave it at that. Is it a pain in the butt? Yep. But that's just part of the territory. So if changes do occur, we'll let you know about them. But if they do occur, the outcome will be, may actually mean a whole lot of freedom for me and her in ways that we haven't been able to have yet. We've been working towards it and everything. Just may be coming sooner than I expected and hoped. But being sorry for things that have happened to me, folks, appreciate the sentiment, but they're the things that made me who I am. There's a Star Trek movie that kind of covers that in a way. When spot, came across his half-brother, Sybok. Sybok was, share your pain, share your pain. Gain strength from the sharing. Well, Kirk didn't want to do it. Kirk told him, I need my pain. My pain is what made me who I am. There's a whole lot of truth in that, people. Your pain is there to have taught you lessons, things that God has put you through and allows you to go through to bring about being who you are and what you're meant to be to serve His purpose. Now, for some, that can turn out bad because they weren't meant to be one of God's. And if they're not one of God's, they're one of the enemy. And that's all good too. That's what they were meant to be. That's what they were meant to be. You know, they can go and be that problem to others that God meant for them to be, to test and strengthen and teach those that are God's. Yeah, it seems that's a real deep thing to try to figure out and wonder why, but you know, it's not ours to wonder why. Because God, like God said in His Word, His ways and His thoughts are higher than our ways and thoughts. We can't fathom what He's got planned and worked out. So I learned to accept a long time ago. When you get right down to the end of it, God is the one that brought all this about because it fulfills His will for His plan. A lot of times it may seem unfair, but then this life ain't meant to be fair. This life was meant to make a choice whom we shall serve. Because this life determines how we spend eternity. Not just another life, but eternity. Y'all get ready for some noise. Got a big truck coming through. Big pickup. He's kind of loud. There he goes. So how we spend this life, what we choose in this life, will determine how we not only spend the next life, but eternity, forever, infinity. You know, and funny enough, our willingness to fulfill purpose, God's purpose, His will in our lives, is also training us for what He has purposed for us in eternity. Because, folks, it ain't going to be just sitting around on clouds strumming on harps. We're going to have things to do. I've already seen that. I've already heard that. Yeah, I've done had that revealed to me. It will be a purpose-filled life. And in order to fulfill that purpose and to fill that billet, we have to go through a lot of things here to be prepared for what that purpose is. This is OJT, on the job training. We're all apprentices so that we can become the journeyman that God needs us to be to fulfill the job that He has for us for eternity. And folks, it's going to be wild. And you just can't imagine I've seen glimpses, and trust me, it boggles my mind. But yeah, it's gonna be wonderful. So whatever you have to go through in this life, don't let it make you sad. Don't let it make you down. Like the old saying, old Slewfoot gets to messing, God's fixing to get blessing. Well, Slewfoot's a messing. So God's got something ready to be a blessing. So that's how I look at it. It's not a bad thing. It may seem bad while you're going through it, but what's on the other side is going to be a good thing. And, there's no reason to be sad or down about whatever it is you might have to go through. God's got something planned for you. When we come to realize that, things get a little better. They don't get any less tough, rough, harsh, or any of that, but they do get better. Well, that seems double-sided. How could it be both? Well, because there'll be a few things get better, but you still have to live this life. But anyway, folks, anything I reveal about something I may have been through, don't be sad for me. Don't be sorry about it. Because that was just something or someone that God had already put there from the beginning of time for this moment in time to perform a function to mold me and make me who I am. Piggy loves you.